Hello, welcome everyone to this live stream of chess.com Global Chess Championships between Nihal Sarin and Wesley So. It's the finals and we are going to have a wonderful time. I'm back in my home in Mumbai and it's so wonderful to see all of you here. Nihal Sarin is currently trailing the match with a score of 3-1 and he will be looking to make a comeback today, and the game has started already. So let's get cracking here, guys. Let me also fix the live board here. All is well, let's go. So Nihal right now is playing with the black pieces. So let's flip the board. He is right now trailing the match 3-1 and he'll be looking to make a comeback. D4 by Wesley, G6 by Nihal. Nihal is today going to play some non-theoretical lines, because when you face an opponent like Wesley So, who is so well prepared, you want to find ways in which you can steer the game into territory which is a slightly non-theoretical. Knight f3, bishop goes to g7, g3, very solid opening by Wesley, c5. Now c3 played and queen a5 played by Nihal. And this reminds me of a very interesting line that I have seen in the it goes something like this: e4, c5, c3, and here there is a move. Of course there are many main moves like d5, knight f6, but there is this one move which is queen a5. Can anyone explain to me why queen a5 is played in such a position? What is the point of it? Sid says, hope you are doing well, Sagar. Really enjoyed watching DreamHack. Was in Bangalore but couldn't make it. Wouldn't miss it for anything next time. Thank you, Sid. It was amazing. I'm very glad that I'm back home. And also had a great time there. Lot to talk about it. We'll talk in the breaks and so on about those things. Yes, Abhimanyu Parashar, you are right. So that when d4 is played and you take, then he cannot take back with the pawn because there's a pin, and you get a he can't get a very strong center. And I think that is the same concept with which Nihal has played queen a5, because he wants to take on d4 and he doesn't want white to take back with the pawn because of this pin. So Wesley goes a3. And what is Wesley So's idea here? The idea is that if you take cd4, what will Wesley So play here? Guys, in the chat, your first question for the day in chat chess moves. What will Wesley So play in this position? Fantastic. Our chat is full on in the zone with Nihal Sarin here. Everyone's telling the moves, but I don't know if it's working. हाँ, अब चल रहा है. अब चल रहा है. थोड़ा, there was some issue because of which it wasn't working until now. Can you write the answer again, guys, if you can? Pranav Damodaran says, hard for Nihal, but I'm hoping that he will strike back. Yes, we also hope that Nihal manages to make a comeback. Very tough when you're facing a player like Wesley. So there you go. B4 on the board. Beautiful, guys. You are amazing. You are absolutely right. B4 hitting the queen. Let's say the queen drops back to c7 and now c takes d4. This is what Wesley So wants to do. And so after a3, Nihal Sarin is right now thinking, I don't think he's played his move. Yes, actually it happened. cd4 has happened on the board. And Wesley has played b4 as well. So that is the position on the board. Vikas says b4, but then queen back. White looks overextended. You can say so, Vikas, because the c4 square is weak. let's say if I make a move like d5 trying to take control of this, the only problem is that the queen is slightly misplaced. So let's say bishop f4, I get a tempo first, maybe then knight c3, rook c1, and white gets a very speedy development. That is the main issue here more than anything else. So that's the reason why I think Nihal is thinking whether he should go queen c7, queen b6. There's also a possibility of going all the way back to queen d8. That could happen. He goes queen b6 here, and maybe he wanted to avoid this possibility of bishop f4 hitting the queen here. C takes d4 on the board. Knight f6 has been played. Being brilliant at chess says, hello Sagar sir, what an event it was. Loved the coverage. Kudos, lots of love. Team CBIOP. Thank you. Thank you. Aditya Bhopale says COTB and Deathmatch 2.0. They were really amazing. Congrats to the Chess Base India team. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you so much. And so now knight f6 and Nihal has played his knight out. You know, today I made a video on actually Nihal beating Anish Giri, and I hadn't followed those games deeply because I was busy with the Deathmatch 2.0. But Nihal played tremendously in some games. Beautiful chess. Okay, here we have knight c3 played, Nihal castles, and now bishop g2 on the board. The time control is 15 minutes plus 2 seconds increment. Both players have 12 minutes, and you can see there Nihal playing d6 here. I was wondering if he can play d5, but I think the problem with d5 is that eventually after castles, bishop f4, knight e5, white's play is easier, and Nihal wants to keep it complicated. As someone rightly pointed out, that if Wesley So reaches 4.5 points, he has won the match. It's a best of 8, so the first to reach 4.5 wins. Wesley needs only 1.5 points out of 4 games. So Nihal has to really figure out some very complex ways to play castles, and now Nihal puts his bishop on e6. You can see that what Nihal Sarin is trying to do is take advantage of this c4 square, but there is something to be said about wow, actually I have a question to you guys. Okay, ready? d5, suppose white plays, and I think Nihal's idea was to take knight takes, bishop takes, queen takes, and bishop a1, and there we have won an exchange. But what is the move here that white can play that helps him get back his advantage? What's the move? So a very important variation which allows Wesley to play d5, and you guys are absolutely correct. Bishop e3 by Badri Chess, being brilliant, Naman, Silva, Parvati, Beradia, Satvik, Sakar, Saswat, and Affection. The a1 bishop is hanging, the queen is attacked. A few of you did mention bishop h6, but that doesn't work as the bishop drops back and the position is completely safe for black. But Wesley So doesn't go for it. What does Wesley play? Wesley goes bishop b2. He doesn't play d5, and d5 was an important move here. This allows, I think, Nihal to develop his knight. Knight b d7. I like how Nihal is playing, yeah. He's trying to be tricky in the position. He's trying to make sure that there is a lot of play that is left. If his knight, if ever, guys, there is a beautiful hole in white's position. What is that hole? Can anyone tell me? Mandar Nanal says, Sagar really loved both deathmatch events. Great work. Thank you. Rakshit says, sad that COTB ended in a day. I think you guys have to really write to on different social media about how you enjoyed it and how COTB should be more regular, or COB, because the comedians really love chess, and I hope that it happens more and more. Yes, C4 is correct. Aesthetic Duo, Sacrificer Man, Krish Agarwal, Imi Shots, Nikhil Sharma, Piyush Parande, Badrinath Chess, Blizzard. Very good. Knight B6 and Knight C4. The C4 is a big sort of weakness there. He goes H3. Okay. I think his idea is to take away this G4 square from the bishop, so as to maybe go knight G5 or just D5, and the bishop doesn't have this square. That could be one of the plans. The most natural move here is rook C8. I feel like you want to put your rook on C8, but then comes D5, and as you know that this is not possible. If you play here, I attack the queen. That's the main point. So then you have to take, but then he takes on G7, attacking the rook. If you take G7, then he'll take on D5. And so if you take on F3, I'll still play on F8. You take on G2. Here, I take King G2. And now in the end, you are an exchange down. So that's the reason why D5, you cannot pick up this pawn. And then you play bishop F5. But then comes G4. And already you see the point of H3 in the position. He wants to push Nihal back. Now, if you think about Wesley So as a player, he is super focused. In this tournament, he really wants to win. He sits like this in all his games. He's tremendously focused. He wants to do well. Also, at stake is super huge prize money, because if he wins, he doubles the amount that he can take home. Here, by the way, rook F8 played by Nihal. I'm still wondering if D5 is not possible. What is Nihal's plan to D5? The prize money is a total of 1.64 crores if someone wins. That is insane. That is insane. Yes, I think Rakshit, this rook he wants to use to play A5 later on. That could be an idea, but I'm wondering what is his plan to D5? Bishop F5, maybe he wants to go G4, and now bishop to E4 is what I presume he wants to do. And also in this line, if you see G5 now does not work because of bishop F3, Gf6, bishop G2, Fg7, and here the rook on F8 does not exist, so the pawn cannot attack the rook. Just imagine that we go for this line here, rook AC8, D5, bishop F5, G4, bishop here, G5. Anyway, knight H5 does exist, but if you take, then rook is attacked. It's very subtle, very small point, but it does make sense here to put your F rook here. And now we go into this variation. Black is doing pretty okay. Let's say I take bishop G7, king G7. I think what Nihal is contesting here is that I have the C3 square for my knight, and that's what he wants to do. By the way, I can literally sense that Wesley So is taking it a bit too safe, and this might get Nihal some chances. What is the prize money for the runner-up, Sagar? Aman says, Aman, the prize money for runner-up is 82 lakhs, which is already won by whoever is going to lose. And Nihal plays this wonderful move, hitting the queen side with A5, B5 on the board. And now, guys, here's your next question. What should black play? A typical move when you have played A5 and opponent has gone B5. What is the move here? Yes. Yes, exactly. You know, let's talk to these pawns. Okay. When they started off in the game, they were like, we both are very good friends. हम भाई भाई हैं. एक दूसरे के we are brothers. And then A3, the brother said, I'm going a little bit ahead. White said, okay, fine. B2 said, okay, take care, my brother. Then the brother said, I'm coming to B4. Said, okay, okay, take care, but we are still together. You know, don't worry. We are still connected. Then came a little bit A5, and suddenly these both are like, what should we do? Like, don't worry, I'm going ahead. Next move, you come and join me. We'll be still together. And suddenly the A pawn, like a villain, he's like, sorry, friends, you are not going to be together. And you can literally see the B5 pawn crying, I'm all alone. Because now, if knight A4 trying to take this pawn with the support of the queen, queen B5, you hang with this and this attack. So I think Nihal should play A4, and you guys are absolutely right. Mr. Dam, Rakshit, Shivam, Safal, Badrinath, Shashwat, Tejas, Aradhya, Agam, and Naman Vadhwa. Well done. A5 on the board. But Nihal doesn't intend to separate the brothers. He goes knight d5, which is a nice move. I mean, I have no problems with this move. The main thing is that after take, you just have to think what after a4. But I think Nihal has got it covered, maybe. Nihal wants to take. And then queen d8 and rook c8. That is the point. You know, just try to, these are these are all very weak squares in the white's camp. Remember, guys, nothing comes for free in life. If you want space, you have to create weaknesses, and there are weaknesses on the board. And actually, after a4 that has been played, Nihal's knight can jump to b4. 6 minutes 16 seconds for Nihal Sarin, 7 minutes 30 seconds for Wesley So. Yeah, Rakshit says maybe bishop c4 later is possible. So let's imagine I go knight b4, then I put my bishop here, then my other knight goes here. What I'm doing is I'm playing on the light squares here. This is actually turning out to be quite an interesting and exciting game. And imagine that if Nihal wins this with black pieces, the scores would be 3-2, and then he would have a chance to make a comeback. Believe me, to beat Wesley So on demand in almost 2 games is not easy. Not easy by any means. And if Nihal manages to do that, he will really be, he will, I mean, I would be super impressed by his play. For now, knight b5, knight d5. I'm also wondering if you can go e4. E4 looks horrible, actually. I mean, it's black to play, but some point e4 and d5. The bishops are really strong. How about take, and bishop c4? Also possible. Another idea is knight f6. Not bad. Yes, Himang says not to mention Hikaru himself failed to take down Wesley. Yeah, I believe their match was like draws all throughout, and then Wesley beating him in the final couple of games, right? Something like that happened. Shorashish Roy says, who's member pillar of Indian chess for 5 months. Thank you, Shorashish. He says that is this best of 5? No, this is best of 8. So let me just put one small thing here if I can. Text the first to reach 4.5 wins. Why did Nihal play at 6? I mean, what was the point? Okay. So h6 was played. I think what Nihal wanted to do was stop knight g5, but he had clearly some possibilities with knight b4. Guys, I commentated a lot at DreamHack. That was all fine, but the thing which really affected my throat totally was the prize giving ceremony at the end. h6, he took knight d5, not the best move. Bishop d5, and now the queen comes to d3, aiming to go e4. Bogart says, "How was DreamHack?" It was very good, Bogart. I enjoyed it a lot. There's a lot to talk about it as well. I think what Nihal should do is now stop this pawn coming to e4. But you know what's the best move here? I can't really believe it. It says queen d8, and what I don't understand is what's the point of it? Like e4, bishop e6. So let's say if I go instead of this king h7, why is that not a good move? e4, bishop e6, because anyway you can't play d5. This is hanging. Bishop a3. So what happens if I go here? Guys, look, this is how I sometimes analyze. Like here, takes bishop a3. You want knight b6. That's the point. You're freeing. Oh, he played queen d8. Nihal OP, guys. He finds queen d8. His point is he wants the b6 square for his knight. Acha. Nihal goes knight queen d8 because knight comes to b6, looks at c4, looks at a4. That's a nice move. Cool, cool, cool. No, it's not his prep memory, because this is already, we are like, Nihal has only 3 minutes left. He's used 12 minutes on the clock. Sai says, enjoyed the Rapid and Blitz tournament. The DreamHack hopes CBI conducts online tournaments too. Thank you, Sai. Okay, now e4. Wesley must do something about it, yeah. Because now if Nihal gets knight b6, attacking here, looking at c4 square, it can get dangerous. Okay. So Nihal versus Nakamura would have been better match, says Karan Yadav. Karan, maybe that happens in Deathmatch 3.0, yeah? Knight d2, bishop g2, king g2, and now Nihal goes knight to b6, attacking the a4 pawn. Very interesting. He's looking at all these squares with his knight. And you know, also Nihal would love to play his pawn to d5, I think, at some point, because that would limit the bishop here. First, he plays queen d7, which is possible. I mean, d5 also looked great. He played queen d7 here. I was wondering if he can exchange a knight with knight c4. But this is a mistake. Guys, knight c4 is wrong. Why? Can you tell me? What is the problem here? Yes. Absolutely correct. Queen e6, guys. Well done. Pinning here. The right move is by Krishay, Sangeet, Agam, Badrinath, Naman, Being Brilliant, Ishprit, Kunal, Safal Fazil, Prajwal, Mani, Tripathi. Well done. So, not queen. He can't go knight c4. He goes e3. Very solid. And queen e6. निहाल सरीन क्या ही बंदा है. वो बोल रहा है कि मैं आराम से खेलूंगा. आई विल टेक यू टू द एंड गेम नाउ. The other thing is to notice is that if you take A4 pawn को कौन बचाएगा? No one can save that pawn. So actually Wesley cannot take the queen. So he took rook c8, and now rook c1. And Wesley is saying that if you take here, and now if you want this pawn, you have to take the queen. You take, I take, and then white is equal. So this is not a chance. Rook c1, very solid. Wesley So is amazing. Siddharth Ranadev, 24 months, pillar of Indian chess for 2 years. Thank you, Siddharth. Feels only yesterday and it's already 2 years. Indian chess has risen leaps and bounds in this time. All thanks to you and your team, Sagar. Congrats. Looking forward to meet you at Phoenix in December. Siddharth, I also look forward to meeting you and thank you for your support, for your unwavering support for 2 years. Very, very kind of you. Thank you. So this has happened. Bishop c1 on the board. Shashwat Parida says 3 Indians will play in speed chess. Nihal, Arjun, Gukesh. Wow. Along with Magnus and Hikaru. That would be amazing. Subal Lakshmi says Deathmatch 3.0 should be Nihal versus Prague. Yes, it's a possibility. I will try to think. We also were thinking if we can get some outside player from outside India as well to play against an Indian opponent. That's a possibility that we were looking at. So now Nihal takes and plays knight c3, and I think this is going to end in a draw for sure, because after knight b7, knight b5, there's not much to play for. Oh, he goes knight c3, yes, and I think players can agree to a draw here, and Nihal will get the white pieces in next game. Wesley So moves 1 point, within a point distance of winning the title. Devargya, the race is Tanya versus Amruta Deathmatch 3.0. Yeah. I think Tanya way stronger than Amruta for sure. Nihal is just trying to right now play on, but I mean, there's nothing much to play for in this position. But it's good to see him trying, that's very important. Chess Shilp, thank you for your super chat. Tanya versus Vaishali is possible for sure. Other options could be, what else? Magnus versus Prague. It's always possible. Nihal versus Nakamura. That's also a possibility. Nihal Prague, as you guys mentioned. There's some possibilities of future deathmatch. Humpy versus Harika. Yeah. Well, I don't want to do a deathmatch in India without an Indian. Like Magnus versus Hikaru would of course be interesting, but that's not the. Adiban versus Jobawa is interesting. Two of the most creative players in the world. And Jobawa would also dance on stage. Guys, Nodirbek was actually many of the very interesting encounters will happen in Tata Steel Chess India. They are revealing their players slowly. I think they have revealed what? How many players have they revealed? Tata Steel Chess India. Yeah, by the way, Omelette Pau says Bhakti Kulkarni to get Arjuna award. Also, Prag to get the award. Four players have been revealed, right? So I think with it they have revealed. Wesley So they have revealed who's coming to India, and I think of Humpy. Have they revealed Humpy? Wesley So, Vidit, Anna Muzichuk, and Humpy. Correct. Actually, Vidit is the only player to play all four editions of Tata Steel Chess India: 2018, 2019, 2021, and now 2022. Levon was the other one who had played three editions. So that's a small hint for you guys that Levon is not going to play. Sakar Chess Ambarnath says that he saw the tandem simul and he was amazed to see kids giving a great fight to Super GMs Gukesh and Arjun. Guys, you have to watch that live stream that we did on the tandem simul. It was just too epic. There was this 6-year-old boy who just completely played some amazing chess. His name is Divit, and Gukesh himself said that he was shocked to see how this boy played. Ishan Garg says Divit was super cute. Yeah. Now they are exchanging pieces. Both players down to last 30 seconds, but it's all under control. Ashish Anand says Divit is the new Vidit. That's nice. Himang says it will be non-stop chess for Vidit from Fall Classics to World Teams to Tata Steel, then World Rapid and Blitz. Yeah, guys, one more. Okay, the game has ended in a draw. The players have agreed. Nihal showing this little move with Bishop G5 and finally trades, and it's a draw. So Wesley moves to 3.5. The next game will start soon. Nihal on 1.5, but a good game by Nihal. And Wesley slightly circumspect. I could feel it. He was not taking his chances with the d5 break and all. So this could be a chance for Nihal to strike in the next game with white. Um, what were we talking about? Yeah. Yes, World Rapid and Blitz. This is happening in Almaty, Kazakhstan from 25th December to 30th December, like it happens every year. And it'll be very interesting. Rakshit says if Wesley gets another draw, then it'll be almost over. Correct. Vishy sir versus Kasparov would be a very good death match. Yeah, for sure. Kannau Asija, the entire team was busy with DreamHack for the last 3 days. So we'll check your mail and get back to you. Please don't worry about your order. We'll make sure you get it. Uh, Aditya says would be interesting to see Vidit in Tata Steel. He's in good rhythm. Yeah, actually, how is Vidit doing? Is he still India number 2 or I was a bit zoned out for the last 3 days. He's still India number 2. Vidit has drawn last 3 games and he's lost a few ELO points, but he's still India number 2 with 2728 as his ELO. That's interesting. No, I mean Nihal reaching the finals is completely tremendous. Yeah, like to beat Ding, then to beat first to beat Kramnik. I think he beat Mamedov, Kramnik, Ding, Savian, Anish, and now he's facing Wesley. So great performance by him. No, for sure, Prag versus Nihal would be a great match for sure to see. I am sure. By the way, guys, how did you like the death match? Any feedback? Anything that you guys did you follow the entire stream? Did you see the entire Chess Base India Originals death match between Arjun and Gukesh? Did you like the production? We put in a lot of effort there. I'll also tell you a bit about it till the next game starts. But how did you like it? Abhishek Gupta says production quality was too good this time. Thank you. Sasikiran says production quality is super huge. It was great. Amlan Disha says yes, great work. Brunal Nitin says it was awesome. Sumuk says try getting a venue of your own. Maybe yeah. Rakshit says production was so good. Good is also an understatement. Thank you. That's great to know that you all liked the production. Aditya Bhopale says it was amazing. Aditya Sharma, love for from Amsterdam. Thank you. There was some noise for sure there. It was also unforeseen that some of the creators, like I think some gamers, visited the nearby stall, and that was not planned, and they came at the last moment. I think it was Mortal and Scout who came there, who are the two of the biggest gamers in India, and then the entire crowd went erupted there. There was noise, but then I asked Arjun and Gukesh, did it disturb you? And it was amazing that these guys were totally focused on chess. It was just unbelievable. Their focus was just too good. Lakshandar Sagwal says event lacked the hype. Production was good, but stage setup of Deathmatch 1 was better. Agreed. Agreed. Sarfaraz says good, awesome, sound improved. Okay. अभिनव गुप्ता सेज मुझे लगा हॉटस्टार पे देख रहा हूँ वाह दैट्स अ गुड कॉम्प्लीमेंट अभिनव वेरी नाइस टू नो Omer Ahmed says super production quality. Thank you, Omer. A chambered setup would be more better for players. Yeah. You know, there is this thing like chess community always has its tournament separately held, and everyone, of course, is has gotten used to silence. However, when we did it here, I saw that many players came to us and said the sound is fine. We enjoyed it. It was very lively and actually it was an experience of its own. And now we think sometimes that our tournaments are too boring or dull. You know, it's also a new way to look at things. I never assumed, I thought all chess players will come to us and say, there was noise, there was music playing, we needed to focus. But that was not the case. So it was a surprise also for me. Keith says thoroughly enjoyed both Deathmatch and COTB. Looking forward to the next one. Thank you, Keith. Soil Saxena says it was amazing and the production was top notch. Just that if more people were there, like in Vidit Anish, it would have been great. I think there were around 200 people at the venue, like there, and outside maybe another 50 or so people or 100. So in all at the venue should be around 300 400 people watching it. Somehow was the case. There was not enough space. I'm sure there would have been many more people who wanted to join, but it was not a huge, it was a huge venue, but there was not much seating. Need more commentators, make a bigger team of commentators. Shubham, that's right. To be frank, I enjoyed watching Deathmatch and COTV more than CSL. Okay. Yeah. I think CSL is more professional in general. We wanted to do like so many top players playing there with high quality chess. But COTB format is, of course, the most exciting for amateurs. Too many blunders, many interesting moves. I mean, it's just fun. And deathmatch is also more like, a show, finishes in 4 hours, while CSL goes on for a week. Satoru Gojo says Gukesh and Arjun deserves more following than Mortal and Scout. Well, it's of course, as chess fans, we would love that, but I mean, it's all about how much more chess can become popular. I'm sure one day there will be huge number of people waiting for them to watch them in action. In fact, after the game ended, match ended at around 10 o'clock or so, or 9:30. We did a meet and greet, and more than 100 people were waiting in a queue to get autographs and photographs with Gukesh and Arjun, which is in itself a very nice thing. And one of the things that I found very nice about Deathmatch 2.0 is that a lot of young kids were watching it because there was a rapid tournament before that in the morning, and they stayed back. And when they watched Nihal and when they watched Gukesh and Arjun, they got quite inspired. I could see it. These kids, they were looking at how Gukesh was just sitting quietly, trying to focus, trying to make a comeback. They saw how Arjun was calm and cool after he started trailing in the match, came back, how nicely he played the bullet. So, a lot to learn. Devashish says deathmatch is turning bigger. Soon, what really makes sense would be Arjun versus Anish. Like Anish teased in the video, how about deathmatch clash of champions for the next one? I think makes a lot of sense. Arjun versus Anish would be very interesting. Two winners facing off each other. Aditya says Gukesh's focus was so amazing and the camera angles just added the dramatic effect and excitement. We had two cameras which were very nice. There was one which was a gimbal cam. So there was this one man holding this gimbal and moving like this, and he was very good at it. Like he was an expert. So he would, move the camera very nicely. And there was this one camera which was called the Jimmy Jib. I don't know if I'm calling it right. What is the spelling? Jib, I know JIB, but is it Jimmy Jib? What is it called? And it was very cool. It's like a huge crane like structure, and you move it with your hands like this, and it goes, then you move it like this, it goes down. It was too good. नमन वाधवा से सागर भाई आप खेलो लेवी के साथ, बहुत मजा आएगा. हाँ, maybe that can be, but I think me playing with Levi or Amruta versus someone, this can be exhibition matches. Deathmatch we always want to do with two top world class players. I think that should be what the benchmark should be. Yeah, COTB was great as well. Akash says Arjun Gukesh did not have the rivalry as Vidit and Anish. Yeah. Vidit Anish created hype. Arjun Gukesh are too polite. Yeah. I mean, I think this death match was less for the hype, but more to just see two young Indian stars facing off each other, fighting it out. I knew from the perspective of, like the hype that was created, it might have been lower, but the quality of chess was very good, and the quality of production, the number of people, I was happy with what happened there overall. Yugandhar says tandem simul concept is very unique. Yeah, they got too much time. I think this 1 hour was a bit too much. Yeah, they were just so quick, both Gukesh and Arjun. They moved so fast in that area. I mean, Vidit and Anish took a lot of time to play, while they were super quick. Rakshit says best COB though. Heart rate's addition was good. Yeah, heart rate. For COTB we used MI bands for the heart rate, but for deathmatch we used this device called as Rhythm. I have it here. This one. So what you do is you put it here on here like this, and you switch it on. So there you have it. And yeah, so once I do this, I'm just trying to see if I can get the heart rate here. Yep. And there you have it. That's my heart rate right now. Let's try it out to see what happens when I'm commentating. So I wore this, and that's how it works. It's actually very straightforward. Shrut's production, it was amazing, but I think audience would enjoy a bit more if we have player who would give tangy statements like Anish, so that audience could enjoy the friendly rivalry. Yeah, for sure. अभिनव says सागर भाई अमृता को बुलाओ, देखते हैं धड़कन तेज होती है कि नहीं. Let's see. I mean, if the game starts and I feel like, oh my god, it's getting exciting, then how does that improve? Ammai says, do you think Nihal can win today? I think this game is the key. If he manages to win this one, then we have chance. If he draws this, then it will be tough. Keith says some trash talk would be super enjoyable. Yeah, I mean, Gukesh and Arjun very young. And of course, Anish is a master at uh, marketing. I would say if Anish was not a top GM, he would be a marketing guru. So can't compete with what Anish does there. That's why we need Adiban, says Siddharth. Yeah. Dark square. Should I put my heart rate on a dark square? Okay. Like here, maybe. I mean, it's funny that we are watching Nihal versus Wesley, but my heart rate is uh, being put here. But okay, just for testing purpose. Yes, that's a good idea, Rakshit. Next time COB gang war, but on the board. It's a good idea. Aha, Aditya says going to Biswa stand-up show here in Boston this weekend. We'll try to get his autograph on my chessboard as COTB runners-up. And maybe you should ask him to play a game with you, Aditya. I'll send your message to Biswa. Maybe then you can go and uh, play with him a game. Please have Nihal versus Wesley have a history now. What do you mean, have a history now? Amruta, guys, I'll get some water. Abhay Singh says they played speechless competition, like speed chess, huh? Yes, guys, let's like the stream. Let's take it to 1,000 likes. Thank you. Heart rate going up, Amruta.
Yeah, but you didn't have that, no?
What? Nice addition.
तुम्हारे
Do you want to wear?
it doesn't fit me.
But we can see what's your heart rate.
I don't know.
No? No, not in the camera, but
हाँ,
you.
then
वो टच होना चाहिए तुम्हारा. हाँ. बस इतना चलेगा. Guys, let's see what Amruta's heart rate is like. Similar, huh, Amruta? 77. Oh, 81, 83, 84, 85, 86. Amruta, you're not feeling well or what?
Why?
I mean, दिल की धड़कनें तेज.
I'm good, I'm good. I'll keep it for 5 minutes.
अरे, Amruta has taken my. Can we have a hybrid of CSL and COB in future? Yeah, that's a good idea. One comedian, one top player in one team, and then they play like not like alternate moves or something, but comedian plays comedian and the GM plays GM, something like that could be an idea. VR Football Talkies says apart from Vichy World Championship wins, is 100k USD the highest prize an Indian chess player has won yet? I believe so. I don't remember anyone else winning a higher prize money. In fact, like for example, if you finish first at Gibraltar Masters or something, the first prize is $25,000. So 100,000 is a lot of money. Prasad says in chess, prize money paid out is still low compared to other sports. Hope to see chess leagues popping up everywhere and season ending Masters tournament played among top finishers for a large pot. I agree, Prasad. It's the sport is growing, and I'm sure that in future we will have many more things coming up here. Ulta Danga Shramik says, when is Chessbase 17 coming out? Very soon, I believe, within a week or so. 。  . 。  . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . 。 . . . 。 . . 。 . . . 。 . . 。 . . . . 。 . . . 。 . . . . . . . Yes, Siddharth Mohan says there's this news about WR Chess Masters. Correct, it's happening in Dusseldorf in February 2023. So that's going to be a big event that will happen. And Prag and Gukesh are playing, I believe, from India. Nodirbek is also there. And there's also Tata Steel in Vaikanze, where we will see Prag, Gukesh, I think. Yeah, Prag and Gukesh and Arjun. I think all three of them are playing there. That's what I believe. How is Chandramouli says, how is Fall Chess Classic in St. Louis going for VD? Very well. I think he's on in the lead along with Hovhanisian, I think, or some, yeah, someone. He's on 3.5 out of 5. 2 wins and then 3 draws. Okay, the game has started, I think. Let's have a look. Yep, there we go. Game has begun. Nihal has the white pieces now, and he plays this same line that he played against Anish Giri. D4, knight f6, c4. Amruta is very relaxed right now. Her heart rate has gone down to 66. Amruta, what are you doing? C4, E6, bishop F4, D5, CD, knight D5, all preparation by Wesley. C5, E4, knight F6, knight D2. Oh, queen D4. I think Anish had played CD4. It went to 66, Amruta.
Acha. Good, na? Then though.
Good, you are doing well. I think this one was given to Arjun, maybe, no? I'm wearing the same one that Arjun wore.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is good that you're wearing.
I might become as strong as him. Okay, let's go. Nipun Sai says enjoyed a lot at DreamHack and was very happy to meet everyone. Nipun, thank you for coming there. This was played by Anish CD4, but Wesley goes Queen D4. Okay, now let's see what is Nihal's prep. Nihal goes Knight F3 and tells Wesley, go back. I've given up a pawn, but now my 3 pieces are developed. Okay. Wesley says, I'm going back. I have an extra pawn. Nihal, you have no compensation. Nihal says, I have compensation. I'm going E5. And now Wesley So says, okay, knight D5. Look, if I get knight C6, I get bishop E7, I get castles, B6, BB7. What is your compensation for the pawn? Because you are pawn down. Okay, Nihal then says, look, I don't have to prove anything to you, Wesley. I'm going A3. And actually, this move, A3, might not be the best move, but it could still be Nihal's prep. After bishop E7, he goes bishop D3. Very interesting. Very interesting. So now he has bishop to D3. Looking here, he wants to get his knight out to E4. Goes BD7. Okay, guys, I'm thinking this is going to get very exciting. Okay, what do you think Nihal will play? Let's guess his moves. Let's guess his moves. White to play. What will Nihal do here? Beradia said knight e3. Beradia, it's a very interesting move that you suggested, knight e3, because if I take, you want to take here. But what is the problem with Beradia's suggestion? Everyone wants to castle, by the way, in here after bd7. A lot of people want to castle. I think Nihal might go queen e2, little more flexible and not castle it out too soon. Like here, maybe he'll go queen e2. That's my thought. But yeah, if you had gone knight e3, check, and then I'll take your knight. So that doesn't work. bd7 on the board. Sagar bhai, do you think Indian players have a tendency to choke in critical moments in the finals? They do very well but fall at the final hurdle very often. Maybe some mentality coaching. I think it's always the case that the big occasions does create pressure, but with players like Nihal, you can see that he beat Anish in Armageddon. Now, this is really strong nerves. To beat a world-class player in a must-win situation with white in the semi-finals of a tournament, that does speak something about your nerves. That does speak something about how mentally strong you are. So yes, Wesley is somehow a very, very powerful opponent, and he's in a situation which is very comfortable for him now. Wesley with 2 points lead, and Nihal, in order to beat him, has to play very, very dangerous chess, which he's doing. He's given up a pawn. Even the fact that Nihal is creating chances against his opponent is great here. It's all huge learning for him. When is the sale going to happen in HSBC India shop? I think the sale will come up pretty soon. And there's a big thing that we are launching on in this week, in a week's time now, which Amruta has been working on, and it's releasing very soon. So you will have that as well on 14th of November that we are launching. Please do support it. That's my only request. It's a very, very nice, it's a big passion project. And I'll talk more about it as it comes out. I think Amruta worked on it for like 6 months or 9 months, close to 9 months. Okay, Nihal, after a6 played, which is a good move, trying to stop all bishop b5 ideas and trying to expand at some point with b5 c4 castles, and now black to move. I think knowing Wesley, he might play this move, which is a very powerful idea. Oh, he goes castles. I was thinking he might go bishop b5, trying to exchange of the bishops, because look, take, and now you've given back the pawn, but after queen d7, I think such a position black can never lose. I mean, this bishop on d3 is a very, very strong piece, and if you can exchange it even at the cost of a pawn, why not? So castles played on the board, and now Nihal goes rook a d1. Well, Nihal is really allowing bishop b5, and I think Wesley must do it. He does it. Can't you go knight c4 and not trade? That's a good question, actually, Rakshit, and I think he'll do that. He'll do knight c4 now. So knight c4. And now let's say I go knight c6. Somehow black has got everything under control, I feel. Queen e4, g6. Can you go h4, h5? Too slow, no? Too slow, I believe. h4. Maybe. Oh, he goes. Did this happen? Did it happen exactly what I thought? Bishop b5, knight c4, knight c6. Oh, he didn't go queen e4. He just went directly h4. Ah, Nihal. Okay. Nihal Sarin going all out. Graham says 14 November is Children's Day, so maybe something to do with children. Yes. Absolutely right. Something to do with children and something very novel, something very new, not like some course or something like that, something new. So let's say now Wesley decides to take, okay, you take, and now he plays the move b5. So white will definitely not want to give up his bishop, I believe, because he's pawn down. So bishop d3, staying on this diagonal, c4, bishop b1. And I think it's positions like this that computers feel are very safe for black, but I think human beings really worry. For example, queen e4, g6, h5, trying to soften up the structure, and many things over here. But okay, I'm just wondering, for example, let's say rook a7, just to get the rook here, queen e4, g6, h5. How dangerous is it? Like I go rook here. Not sure. I mean, it's an interesting position worth trying, but he goes h4 ko knight a5. And all of a sudden, the engine starts to prefer white. I'm not sure if it's true, but let's think about it. Say, for example, I go queen e4, threatening a checkmate here. g6. And now I was wondering if knight d6. Take, rook takes. Yeah, what's the knight doing here is a question, but okay, it's nicely positioned. So knight a5, and now Nihal has to wonder. I'm just thinking if Nihal might, because what you don't want as Nihal is something like, let's say, h5 and then mass trades on c4, because then you just are pawn down. And why would someone exchange so many pieces when they are pawn down? So Nihal definitely cannot do it. Cannot play h5. Rishikesh says nd6 directly. Possible. Let's say I take here. You take with the rook, maybe. Rook takes. But you are just pawn down, I believe. No, Nihal has to find a way. If Nihal doesn't find a way here, not here, but here, he will be in trouble. Yes, Rahul Mukherjee will consider. Thank you for your suggestion. So, let's look at this position a bit more carefully. Threatening mate, g6. Let's try to think here. What is happening? Say, suppose I go knight d6, okay? Just as an example. You take here, I take here. Let's say he goes b5, okay? And now I go h5. And overall, there is this, and even here, think about it this way. I take, and take. Not a very silly exchange sacrifice. Yes, your material down, but your knight is well positioned. Dark square slightly weak. Maybe e6 somewhere possible. So many things happening. What did Nihal do, by the way? Nihal played queen e4, g6, and now knight e3 he has played. Okay, I get what Nihal wants to do. By the way, guys, look at what Nihal's idea is. Nihal says if you take here, then after rook d3, your d5 knight is pinned here, and I will get back my pawn. So that was Nihal's plan. What Wesley might have to do in order to prove an advantage here is play, let's say, knight e3 or bishop c6. Let's look at knight e3. If knight e3, I have two options. One is to take here, but then my rook is taken. I don't like it. The other is to take with the f pawn to open up the rook, but then my structure is a bit compromised. I would say it's worth trying. It's definitely worth trying with the f pawn. But if I take queen takes and you take bishop d3, rook d3, queen c7, just black is doing very well here. Let's say knight d2 with the idea of knight d4, knight d6. Yeah, I don't see Nihal better here. No, he can't do that. So Wesley does play knight e3. I'm thinking about the way in which you can fight fe, bishop d3, rook d3. He takes with the queen. Okay, guys, I think this might not be a great position for Nihal. Queen c7 by Wesley So. Very logical move, very strong move. Saurav Ray says in IPL winning team gets 15 crore, and here a single player is getting 1.6 crore. That is huge. It's, yeah, I think it's a very huge amount for chess for sure. I think apart from the candidates and world championship match, there has never been so much money in chess. So I think kudos to chess.com for being able to pull up such a huge amount. Not easy, not easy at all. If the rook was on e1, that would have been cool. Then you could just drop your bishop back, for example, here, and then try to attack with h5. But now he'll just take it and play this. And I think pawn down here. Maybe what Nihal could have improved at some point. I think somewhere here he could have gone castles first. Castles, knight c6, knight e4, knight d6. Something like this he had to try. Queen e2 maybe was a bit too slow. Doesn't help anything in any way. Because it just allowed bishop b5. How about a bishop trade? Anirban says. Anirban, but after take, what's your plan now? You are a pawn down. Count. Black is a pawn up. Maybe h5. This bishop is almost dead. Queen at 6 after bishop trade. Okay, let's say take queen at 6. And threat is to go knight g5, yeah, something. But he's always going to take it. Maybe you want to go bishop here, knight here, so that if he takes, you take with the bishop, bishop f6 and play on dark squares. Let's say he goes knight c4. I think Nihal played something totally different. He went knight d2. Okay. What? Why, Nihal, are you playing this way? Take. I think what Nihal wants to do is knight e4, knight d6. But I guess he doesn't have time. Rook a d8, queen e3. Let's say rook d4, knight e4. Rook d8, knight d6, I think. That's what I wanted to try. Guys, my heart rate is pretty decent, yeah. Like, it's even more stable than Arjun and Gukesh. Man, Arjun and Gukesh are such players. Their heart rate was just not fluctuating beyond 100, even in such tense matches. Naman says now Nihal should look for a draw. Yeah, I think so. Because if he gets a draw, we will see one more game for sure. But if he loses, he's out. I mean, the tournament is over. Wesley will win it. Knight c6 by Wesley So. I think what Wesley wants to do is just keep an eye on the e5 pawn. So if you go here, he will play b5 maybe, I was thinking. And then knight d6. And I was thinking, can we take? There is queen e5 firstly, but also knight f7 is very strong. Okay. Rakshit says I'm not a GM. मैं heart rate monitor पहनते तो would have crossed 150. Yeah, I'm like this old man. Can't have a heart rate as good as Arjun and Gukesh. Yeah, Graham Pawar, thank you for your comment there. Knight e4, knight d4. Okay. 1 second. Let's think about it. Now, knight d6 is one idea. There's also knight f6. I like knight f6 though, by the way. You can go here. Because if you attacks the queen, queen c8, queen at 6, there's knight f5. But there is some attack here. So, king g7 makes a lot of sense. Knight d4, what's the point of... I think knight d4 idea is knight f5. Rook takes d4, says Rakshit. Whoa. Okay, if I take with the pawn, queen at 6 is very strong. But if I take with the rook, now what? Because if I go queen at 6, there is rook takes e4. And if you play knight f6, I think you can take queen d8. Attacking here. This is lost. This is lost. So taking the exchange might not be possible. He gives a check. Again, Wesley finds the best move, king g7. Ayush Agarwal, It's not price, Price, Prize. So Prize is for the award, while Price is for the cost, like prize. So how much prize did Nihal win is with a Z. Okay, check. King G7, bishop h6. He wants to go bishop f4. He wants to go bishop h6. 82 lakh for the runner up here. Rupees 82 lakh. Knight f5, queen h3. Okay. Nihal is now going a little bit. I think h5 might be played. And then Nihal will go all out like g4. This happens when you are in a must-win situation that you kind of start overstretching. Let's say rook here. No, there's rook d7. Maybe rook d4. Then rook d8. Yeah, I think black's play is free-flowing. It's not like he's cramped or something. Nihal has 1 minute 36 seconds. Wesley has 4 minutes 37 seconds. What should black do here is the question. King h8 played by Wesley So. Interesting move. Maybe he wants to take. His threat is to take and take the bishop. Rakshit asks, is Nihal off color or Wesley too good? I think it's the pressure of the must-win scenario which is getting to Nihal. In general, he doesn't worry much, but here, you're playing the finals. It's so much money is at stake. So many top players are following it. You just want to make sure that you do not uh, not give your best. But yeah, Wesley is just brutal. Also, if Wesley So is coming to India now after this win, which is very cool. No, I think taking this pawn would be too risky. I mean, exactly. Okay, let's see where the game has gone. Knight e4, rook d1, rook d8. Once again, Wesley exchanging pieces, but now knight d6. And now the question is, how do you deal with this? There is also knight d6, pawn d6, bishop d6. H takes, threatening a check here, and a mate almost. So H takes. Okay, by the way, king g8. Wesley finds the best move. H5. Once again, the best move, g5. H6. And now Wesley is just winning. G takes f4. Queen g4 check. King f8. And there's nothing more left. Like if you play knight f5, threatening check and mate here, I can play rook d1 check first. Totally winning. So the move is h6 gf. He takes. He takes. Wesley is not going to be bluffed by such moves. He's too strong. Yeah, I think Nihal is just lost there. He has last 6 seconds left. He must play some move. He goes, what did he do? He took knight f5, rook d1, queen d1, ef5, queen d3. A piece down. I mean, what is left now? And so with this, Nihal Sarin loses, and Wesley So most likely will become the champion, I think. Um, no, I mean Nihal fought very well for sure in this entire tournament, but Wesley played better chess, so that's how it is. Takes 27. And 27 played by Nihal. Nihal trying to show his some bullet skills here with 5 seconds left. But with one piece less, it's not going to help. Akash says, do top GMs like Wesley earn a lot solely as professional chess player? Yes. Wesley So was studying at the Webster University, and then he decided to go professional. Hussain Faik says Nihal's road to final was not easy. Credit to him, and he won runner-up in a big tournament, big cash prize. Absolutely. Oh, he's resigned. Wesley So is the champion now after B6, and he's won this with 4.5 out of 8. I mean, out of the 8 games, only 6 got to be played, and Wesley So wins it, becomes the champion of the first ever Global Chess Championship. Congratulations, Wesley So. Nihal Sarin played amazing chess, guys. Let's have Nihal OP in the chat for his beautiful performance, reaching the finals. Such a big event, winning $100,000. It's a lot of money there. Wesley gets $200,000. The total prize fund of the event was $440,000. And yes, thank you all. I think that is all from here. Nihal has fought really well, and he has made us proud with his achievements. I think it's already amazing. I will come back tomorrow again with something else. For now, this is Sagar Shah signing off. Guys, thank you all for following DreamHack, for following Deathmatch there, COTB, DreamHack Rapid and Blitz, Tandem Simul, and now today the Global Chess Championship. Thank you for following, and see you all soon. Bye bye.